Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All praises be to the Most High that given us another Sabbath day, another day of opportunity to come serve Him, another day to keep His laws, another day to gather Yaikwa again unto Him. So today's class, we're going to continue off from where we was at last week. Who was here last week by the shows of hands? Who was here last week? Shabbat Shalom, were you here last week? Last week Friday, tonight. Last week Friday. La, what about you, Shamwala? Last Friday. Where we left off last Friday?
Yeah,
you was up there with me, right? So you should be the man with the answers tonight. So we were actually going over a series of scriptures, going over the United Kingdom of Israel. How many kings did we have that had all 12 tribes under their rulership?
That's good.
How many kings? Everybody know how I get down there ready. You don't got to volunteer. I'll pick you. I'll do the work for you. How many kings did we have that was ruling all 12 tribes before the split? It's all right. There's nothing wrong with guessing. You can say 7. 7 ain't nothing wrong with saying 7. It's completion. 10. What about you? I'm gonna give you a hint. They ruled each of them. All this amount of number ruled 40 years each. Who were the kings that had the United Kingdom of Israel? Who had all 12 tribes under their rulership?
Taz's band. Don't answer.
Wait, I want Taz to go last. I know he knows his answer. Mashallah, what about you? You want to take a guess before the answer is given? Remember, this is school. This is not church. There's nothing wrong with saying a wrong answer. Because before the end of tonight, you're going to have the answers in your notes. You're going to study, and by next week, you're going to have the answers.
Khan.
How many kings? 20? All right. You said 10? The Levi said 20. You said 7? Tezua, what's the answer? Who? And how many years did they rule? They ruled 40 years, right? So who was the first? Kadash. A lot of you Benjamites repping hard, yeah. What tribe was what tribe was Saul? He was Benjamin. He was from the sons of Benjamin, the son of Kish. When you read the book of Esther, you find out Mordecai was the same lineage as Saul, the son of Kish. So we're actually going over the King Saul's rulership because he was the first king. In this society, we look up to who? Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Toussaint Louverture, Dutty Bookman. We can look up to all these men, but our records is right here in the scriptures. Our kings, our prophets, our mighty men of valor who took down cities. Jonathan was only a man, one Benjamite, a young Benjamite. He took down a garrison of Philistines.
That's right.
Understand? Our records right here in the scriptures. Let's open up to Colossians 3:17. Colossians 3:17. Everybody should know I like doing a little quiz when I'm teaching.
The book of Colossians chapter 3 verse 17. Right? Colossians chapter 3 verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the One Yahweh Shai, giving thanks to the power and the Father by Him.
So everything we do, we always open up with the scripture. Every time I teach, I always bring this out. Everything we do in word and deed, and even our thought patterns, man. We got to keep the Most High in our outer one, Yahweh Shai, in everything we do. Everything we do, we put our hands on, man. We got to put the Most High in consideration. We put the Yahweh Shai in consideration. Because we know the Most High have no use for a wicked man. Come on. Let me get Romans 15:4. Book of Romans chapter 15 verse 4. Book of Romans chapter 15 verse 4.
The book of Romans chapter 15 verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
What did you say?
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
Everything that was written from the Old Testament to the New Testament, read.
Were written for our learning.
Everything was written for our learning for today. So we can understand what did our ancestors do that was right in sight of the Most High. So we can be right with the Most High. And everything they did wicked. So we can avoid that. So we don't make the same mistakes they did. Because we're the product of our ancestors' mistake, right? Their constant mistake, huh? And the Most High had everything documented here for our learning, for our educational purposes, right? Agree?
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning,
right?
That we through patience,
that we through what?
And that we through patience.
And you know, the elder priest went over that last night. Those of you that missed the men's soldier class, you know, man, the priest went over a lot of precepts over patience, the importance of patience. That us through patience,
that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures.
Of the what?
Of the scriptures.
Of the scriptures, not your bishops, not your wannabe generals. Through the scriptures, not wannabe action figure comforters. Through the scriptures, through the understanding of the Most High written in scriptures,
might have hope.
That we might have hope in these last days. Because all of our promises is documented right here in the scriptures. The Most High has documented all the answers we need in our lives. Like the priest always bring out, basic instructions before leaving earth. All of the instruction we need up until we establish the kingdom is right here in the Bible, right under our nose. Give me Deuteronomy 32 verse 7 before we go in. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 7. Because we got to remember what our forefathers done, man. We always got to reflect what Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob done. Scriptures tell us praise famous men.
God.
These men are not being spoken about 2019 years after they're gone for no reason. Because of their works, their righteousness. Some men it's being talked about because of their wickedness. 2019 years of shame. For us, we're seeking the kingdom. We're seeking 144,000. We're seeking mercy from the Heavenly Father in these last days. Everything we're doing now in this captivity is being documented by the angels. There might be a book of Kadash, a book of Shamwala, the hidden book of Shalamah in the kingdom. Everything's being documented, man. That every single pain and suffering we went through in this captivity is going to be recorded for us to be able to look back and reflect on in the kingdom of heaven. Give me Deuteronomy 32 verse 7.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 7.
Right?
Remember the days of old.
Most I say remember the days of old. The days of our forefathers, read.
Consider the years of many generations.
Consider the years of many generations. So long we've been without our records. Right, read.
Ask thy father, and he will show thee.
We can't ask our fleshly fathers because why? They've been discontinued from their heritage. A lot of our parents, they're more lost in the sauce than some of these young jakes out here. Right? Most I say, ask your fathers. Who's our fathers the most I'm referring to in the scripture? Who else? Mashallah, who else is he referring to? Who's our fathers? Khan? Who? Our teachers, right? We ask our fathers, man. Our spiritual fathers. Our ancestors. We look at what they have done. Right? Read.
Thy elders.
Right?
And they will tell thee.
And they will tell us, man. Read.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance.
Drop that. So we in the time period for everybody to write down. Let's see. We at 1050 to 1010 BC. That's the time period we at with King Saul. 1050 to 1010 BC. Everybody know when we went to Egypt, correct? What year we went to Egypt? You looking it up? All right, Shamwal, when did we leave Egypt? This is all part of everything that was written was for our learning. Because a lot of our people, they know America's Independence Day. Our people know 4th of July. So we got to know our time when we receive our independence from the Egyptians. That was the whole purpose for this class to be made. So when we teach on a scholarly level. We're not just teaching second, third hand-me-down knowledge. We elevating this truth. Because the generation before, they probably wasn't keeping the new moons, keeping all these Memorial Days. Now we're keeping them. The generation to come, we got to elevate it, and then they elevate it even more. We got to give them something to pass the torch to so they could continue letting this fire burn. So you found the answer? It's all good. It's all good. We're all here to learn. We went to Egypt around 1880 BC. We left 1450 BC. 1450 BC. So now we at 1050 to 1010, King Saul's time period. So a lot of time went. Oh, Saul's or when we left? When we went into Egypt was 1880 BC. We left Egypt 1450 BC. And you got Saul's time period, right? Marshall, what's Saul's time period? That's the Saul's time period? It's 1050 to 1010. Everybody make sure they write it down. Because we know our elders went upstate to visit, visit his family, Mashpaka. So I'm covering tonight. If I'm going over class next week, everybody got to have their answers ready. So after Saul defeated the Ammonites under the hand of the Most High, of course. And we know our people still cowards, still want to be wicked, insulting Saul, just like we always insult our leaders, even today in today's time, right? So let's get right into the scriptures. Get 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 1. For everybody who missed out class last week, try to review that video that's on the YouTube page. 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 1.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 1.
Right.
Saul reigned 1 year.
He reigned what?
Saul reigned 1 year.
Right.
And when he had reigned 2 years over Israel,
because Saul reigned over all 12 tribes under him. This is before the division. This is before David was even hit the scene. So this is all about Saul right now. So read verse 1 again.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 1. Saul reigned 1 year. And when he had reigned 2 years,
how many years?
He reigned 2 years over Israel.
So what time period are we in right now? You said he already reigned after 2 years. Come on, we 1048 BC right now. Right? Read.
Verse 2. Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel.
Right.
Whereof 2,000 were with Saul and Michmash.
Right. Read.
And in Mount Bethel.
In the Mount Bethel. Where's Bethel at right here?
It's right there. It's in the borderline between Ephraim and that little orange spot right there next to them.
Right here.
Right there, yeah.
This is where Saul's at right now. Everybody can see that? So this is why we have the map, so everybody can get a visual understanding of what's going on. Saul's right here in this time period right here. 1048 BC is right here. Right in Benjamin, I believe. Between Benjamin and Ephraim. Read.
In Mount Bethel. And 1,000 were with Jonathan and Gibeah of Benjamin. And the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent.
So who's with Saul right now? What tribe of men was with Saul? It was the tribe of Benjamin, right? Saul chose mighty men of valor to roll with him. Just like David had the mighty 37, right? Read.
And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines that was in Gibeah.
Right.
And the Philistines heard of it. And Saul blew the trumpet throughout all the land.
Right.
Saying, let the Hebrews hear. And all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten a garrison of the Philistines.
So a garrison is like a troop. Can somebody look up the definition of garrison? Like a fortress, right? Let's just for scholarly purposes. Somebody look up the word definition of garrison really fast. So you see, these men was no punks, no sissy boys like Yakuna was saying, right? Read. You got it, right? Read.
Garrison, the troops stationed in a fortress or town to defend it.
So a troop stationed in the town, like the police department, right? Like the NYPD in the hood, right? Those would be like modern day garrisons. So you see, Jonathan, he was a young man, and he smote a garrison. The scriptures didn't say he was with anybody, right? To let you know, men back in the days was a lot different. Samson was a lot different. Gideon was a lot different. Judas Maccabees was a lot different. Ehud was a lot different from men these days. These were men of valor. Scriptures tell us that. Give me a second on Ezra 5:54. Yeah. Second Ezra 5:54. These men was a lot different, man. Because scripture said we will eat our defiled bread in our captivity. The food alters how our bodies is right now, man. But we're not able to have that much stamina, our strength, like we had in the days of old. Because back in the day, we didn't have guns. We didn't have drones, bombs, You had to go sword to sword, spear to spear. If you got tired, you ain't going home. Right? You finished. Read that for me. 2 Ezra 5 and 54.
Page 20 in the Red Apocrypha. 2 Ezra chapter 5 verse 54. Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you.
The Most High said we are less in stature. We're not as strong as in the days of old. Our physical proneness can't compare to the men of old. Scriptures don't say in vain, David killed 10,000s and Saul killed thousands. How Benaniah, one of David's mighty men, went into a hole in the winter and killed the lion. How many of us could go in a ditch and go one-on-one with a lion? We seen that Edomite who got clawed up, right? By that jaguar. We're a lot different than how our ancestors was, read.
Verse 55. And so are they that come after you, right, less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, O Adawan, I beseech thee.
That's it.
Okay, come on.
So we understand that the men back in the days were very different. When it was time to capture a city, they got down. That was it. Right? Go back to where he was at 1 Samuel. Let's read it through.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 13, verse 4. And all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten the garrison of the Philistines, and that Israel also was had in the abomination with the Philistines. And the people were called together after Saul to Gilgal. And the Philistines gathered to themselves together to fight with Israel.
So who's the Philistines? Modern day Philistines. What nation of people? It's so-called Africans, right? Read.
And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel, 30,000 chariots,
right, and
6,000 horsemen,
right,
and the people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude.
So it was a mighty host. The Philistines brought a big amount of men to go fight our people, because they already know what happened with the Ammonites when they rose up against us. The nations always keep a steady eye on us, what we're doing. Always worrying about what we got in our saucepan. That's just how the nations are. Right? Read.
And they came up and pitched in Michmash, eastward from Beth Aven. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, then the people did hide themselves in caves.
They did what?
Hide themselves in caves.
Our people had the spirit of fear again. Just like when we went over that last class. Our people always forget we always have the Most High God, creator of heaven and earth, rolling with us. The Most High say, woe unto them that's fearful. We're not even allowed to be scared because the Most High didn't give us a spirit of fear. Read.
And in thickets and in rocks.
So our people had it in caves, big bushes of grass, in rocks, high places and pits. Our people are terrified of these Africans, man. The Zulus, the Watusis, these men. Right? Read.
And in high places and in pits. And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad, right, and Gilead.
Right.
As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal.
So everybody went over to the land of Gad. Everybody's fleeing all over, right here in this area. Where's Saul at? Saul's still over here in this area. Everybody fled over here. Right? That shows you our people are distrustful for the Most High. Because when the Most High's with us, who can rise up against us?
Khan.
Who can rise up against us? Read.
And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, right, and all the people followed him trembling. Right. And he tarried 7 days according to the set time that Samuel had appointed. Right. But Samuel came not to Gilgal. And
so he stayed because he was supposed to run. Samuel was supposed to rendezvous with him. Because when we go over a little bit of these verses, we're going to understand why they were waiting on Samuel. Who was Samuel? Can anybody answer that? Who was Samuel? He was a Levite. Was he any Levite? What was so specific about Samuel? What's so special about Samuel? No. Samuel wasn't a king. Samuel he judged our people during his time, and he was the most known prophet during his time. He's the one that the Most High sent to anoint Saul. He's the one that was raised up by Eli, the high priest. So he knew the law, statute, commandments very well. Right? Read? Yeah, go right ahead if you have a comment. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah. So Samuel, he was actually the last judge of Israel during this period of time. He was the last judge. After him, there was no more judges. He was the greatest judge, the greatest well-known prophet during the time of Israel. And not only that, he was raised up by the priest, or the high priest himself. You know what I mean? But let's continue. Verse 8. And he tarried 7 days according to the set time that Samuel had appointed. But Samuel came not to Gilgal, right, and the people were scattered from him.
So everything's in turmoil. Everybody's fleeing. Saul's here. Everybody's over there. Saul's losing his mind. He's painting like, where's Samuel? Because anytime we go to war, who's always with us? Even though they're not allowed to fight, who's always with us? What tribe is always with us?
The priests.
The Levites are always with us, right, when we go to fight. So Saul losing patience, he's painting, he's getting scared. He's losing faith, most likely. Because he said all this is happening before, and we don't even know what to do right now. Right? Read.
And it came to pass that as soon as he made an end of offering the burnt offering,
go back up,
Salak.
Go back up, verse 9.
And Saul said, bring hither a burnt offering to me.
What did Saul say?
Bring hither a burnt offering to me.
Now, what tribe was Saul? What tribe was Saul? He was the tribe of Benjamin, right? Read that again.
And Saul said, bring hither a burnt offering to me.
Right?
And peace offerings.
So Saul said, bring a burnt offering to me and peace offerings, right? Read.
And he offered the burnt offering.
And he offered the burnt offering. What's wrong with that? Exactly. It wasn't given unto him. That wasn't his charge. The Most High never instructed that to be done by any other tribe in Torah. So what was Saul in? He was transgressing of the Most High's law. Give me Exodus 28 verse 1. 28 verse 1. When you're reading the history, you can't leave nothing unturned. Nothing, like I said last week, nothing is written in vain. Every word, every period, every point, everything was written for a purpose. Everything needs to be examined. That's why the Most High said just forever learning the scriptures, never coming into the truth. There's always something that we overlooked.
God.
There's always a higher reason, a higher thought pattern why the Most High added this. Right? Read that for me.
The book of Exodus, chapter 28, verse 1. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother.
Aaron thy what?
Aaron thy brother.
Who was Aaron? Everybody don't answer at once. Who was Aaron? Taziawan, son of Aaron. Who was Aaron? Who was Aaron? And we know that. We just read the verse. We just read the verse. Who's Aaron?
The high priest.
Who's the first high priest from what tribe? All right, read.
And take thou unto thee Aaron,
right,
thy
brother,
and his sons,
and his what?
And his sons,
and his daughters,
and his sons,
and his aunties,
and his sons,
and his sons. Right, read
with him,
right,
from among the children of Israel,
right,
that he may minister unto me in the priest's office.
Into the what?
Minister unto me in the priest's office.
So who is supposed to be in the priest's office? It's Aaron's and son, not just any Levite. Merari couldn't do it. Gershon couldn't do it. A regular Kohathite couldn't do it. You had to be from the lineage of Aaron himself and his sons. Later on, we know it's Ithamar and Eleazar. Khan? Give me a Sirach 45:25. Just for edification, yeah, drop that. Sirach 45:25. 45:25. Sirach 45:25. Because the something was wicked, man. The Most High already gave us the understanding of who's supposed to be doing what. Even though Levi was a priest, when you go to 1 Chronicles 12, it tells you the other tribes were mighty men of war. Some were experts of war. Right? Defending the men, women, and children of the nation. So everybody played an intricate part. And the way the Most High have everybody's role set up, that's how it got to be carried out. Anything contrary to that is disobedience, and that's transgression. That's sin.
You want verse 6 also?
Yeah, read it.
It says in the book of Sirach, chapter 45, verse 6.
Right.
He exalted Aaron and a holy man like unto him,
right?
even his brother of the tribe of Levi.
So we have Sirach chapter 45 verse 6. Everybody say "Come" when you have it. Come, okay, read.
An everlasting covenant he made with him,
All right.
and gave him the priesthood.
Gave him the what?
Gave him the priesthood.
We just read that from the Torah. The Apocrypha is correlating with the Torah. Read.
I'm gonna jump down.
All right, jump down to verse 25.
Verse 25. According to the covenant made with David, son of Jesse,
Right.
and of the tribe of Judah.
So the Most High is about to compare two tribes now. David, the son of Jesse, from the tribe of Judah. Right? What's so special about the tribe of Judah? They were the what? They were the head tribe, and what role did they play in the nation? What role did David's lineage play in the nation? They were the kings. Read.
That the inheritance of the king should be to his prosperity alone.
That the kingship should be belonging to David's lineage. What lineage does Yahushua come from? He come from Judah. From whose lineage? Whose seed line? From David, right? So Yahushua is still that king. Read.
His prosperity alone.
Right?
So the inheritance of Aaron.
The inheritance of Aaron, the kingship was supposed to be for David's children. And for Aaron's lineage, read.
So the inheritance of Aaron,
right,
should also be unto his seed.
His inheritance, what? The priest's office to burn sacrifice, burn the incense, take charge of the other Levites, right? Was supposed to be for Aaron alone. So when Saul did this, Saul disobeyed the Most High. That showed his level of disobedience. Go back to where he was at for Samuel. You read verse 9. 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 9.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 13, verse 9. And Saul said, bring hither a burnt offering to me, and peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering. And it came to pass that as soon as he made an end of offering the burnt offering,
right,
behold, Samuel came.
Behold what?
And Samuel came.
Behold, now, right, as soon as you just finished this wicked thing, now Samuel just pulls up. Right? Read.
And Saul went out to meet him,
right, that
he might salute him,
right.
And Samuel said,
so what did Saul try to do? Run up into Samuel and do? We do it here all the time. And he just did something wicked, right? Right, read. He tried to play it off.
And Samuel said, what hast thou done?
Samuel said, what did you do? Read.
And Saul said, because I saw that the people were scattered from me.
Because the people were hiding in caves, bushes, the others by Gad, way over by Gad, way far away from where Saul's at. Read.
I saw the people were scattered from me, and that thou camest not within the days appointed.
Because how many days was Samuel supposed to rendezvous with Saul? How many days? We just read it. Close. Completion. 7
days.
After 7 days, he was supposed to rendezvous with Saul and do the sacrifices. Because the priest got to be present. Give me a Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 2. Samuel was supposed to be present, man.
Yeah. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 2.
Start from verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1. When thou goest out to the battle against thy enemies,
just like we was about to go to battle against the Philistines, right?
Read. And seest horses and chariots and a people more than thou.
And our people did see that because they were running like cowards, right? Read.
Be not afraid of them.
Don't be afraid of them because the Most High is going to defend us. Read.
For the power Yahweh is with thee, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
And it shall be when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest.
That the who?
That the priest.
That the what?
That the priest.
This is Samuel. This is why he was supposed to rendezvous with Saul in 7 days. Read.
Shall approach and speak unto the people.
Because the priest is supposed to be a sign of the Most High being with the people during this time. They were supposed to be the sign of the Most High being with them because they had the Urim and Thummim. If the people had any direct questions and Samuel didn't have to answer, he shake up the Urim and Thummim and get a Khan or La'ah from the Most High God to direct the people on how they should go to battle. Read.
and shall say unto them,
Right?
Hear, O Israel,
Right?
ye approach this day unto the battle against your enemies.
Right?
Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them.
Because they're supposed to comfort the people. They're supposed to be the sign, okay, the Most High is with us. That's why that's the only reason we brought the Ark of the Covenant with us when we went to war. So our people can have that confidence, okay, he's right, he's here with us. Because the Most High, sometimes he don't give us a direct answer. He's not going to say, yo, Kodash, I'm here. Swing your sword. He's not gonna do that. Our people always need a sign that the Most High is with us. That's what Gideon needed from the Most High. That's what Samuel needed. Go back to where he was at in 1 Samuel.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 13, verse 11. And Samuel said, What hast thou done? And Saul said, Because I saw that the people were scattered from me, and thou camest not within the days appointed, and that the Philistines were gathered themselves together at Michmash. Therefore I said, the Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal, and I will have not made supplication unto the Lord.
Right.
I forced myself, therefore.
What?
I forced myself, therefore.
Now, did that happen? Nobody put a gun to Saul's head and told him, yo, burn the sacrifices, right? Saul took it upon his own self. He wanted to be a rude boy and throw up the sacrifices.
My hands were tied.
His hands was tied. Right? He's running game on Samuel like Aaron ran game on Moses. The calf just came out the fire. Read.
I forced myself, therefore, and offered a burnt offering. And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly.
That has did what?
Thou hast done foolishly.
Right.
Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God.
Because that was an ordinance for the sons of Aaron to do this. Because that was transgression. When the Most High is among us, he cannot see no unclean thing. That's what Samuel was rebuking them. Give me Deuteronomy 24, verse 14. Everybody know when I teach, I go precept upon precept. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. No rocks unturned.
21:14?
Yeah.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 21, verse 14.
Hold on.
14 is talking about
23:14.
Yeah.
So like
Deuteronomy 23, verse 14.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 14. For the Lord thy power walketh in the midst of thy camp.
So that's the same reason why we cannot be unclean when we come to the Shabbat. Why we cannot have any wicked mindset when we keep the Most High's law, statute, commandments. Because his spirit is gathering once we in twos and threes. And when we go to war, it's over thousands of us. So we all got to be as strong as the weakest link. So the Most High cannot see any unclean, any wickedness amongst us. Because we know the spirit of wisdom is a spirit of discipline. The Most High is rolling with a spirit of discipline. Read.
And thou shalt, for the Lord thy power walketh in the midst of thy camp, to deliver thee.
To do what?
To deliver
To
thee.
save us, read.
And to give up thy enemies before thee.
Right?
Therefore shall thy camp be holy.
Does thy camp, thy army, thy military be holy? This is why we cannot be unclean when we go teaching our people. This is why we can't have no faint-hearted men amongst us when we go teach the people. Because the Most High is with us and Satan will find that breach. Right? Just like when our people was being wicked, when Moses told them, don't go on that mountain and fight those nations, because the Most High is not with you. He cannot see no unclean thing amongst us. And Saul was very dirty right now. He was dirty. Right? Go back to where he was at Samuel.
Book of Samuel, chapter 13, verse 13. And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandments of the Lord thy God, which have commanded thee. For now will the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever.
The Most High told through Samuel, if you have obeyed me, kept my commandments, be obedient, I want to establish your kingdom forever. Your sons will be ruling my people. Because Saul was anointed to be the captain over the people, be the ruler over the people, be that example. be that sword of the Most High against the other nations for our people. Right? Read.
But now thy kingdom shall not continue.
Your kingdom is not going to continue. You're not going to be ruling forever. Read.
The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart.
Now he's already prophesizing to him, telling him what's about to go down in the near future. Right? The Most High already fired you and have somebody up already in training already. He already have somebody that's after his heart. That's going to keep the law, statute, commandments. And we already know who this is, right? Who's this foreshadowing? Who's this talking about? Everybody can't just say, Who's he talking about? Marshallah, who's he talking about before Kadash answered? Who's the man after the Most High's heart that Samuel's telling Saul about? We talk about him a lot. He's from the tribe of Judah. This is way before. This is way after Moses. Kodash, you guys made a song about it. Who is this talking about? It's talking about King David, the man after his heart. When we look at David's characteristics, when you do your own reading, you see David shares a lot of characteristics of the Most High. He's a man of war. David was the sword of the Most High. David shut down every nation that was at the corners, every adversary of the children of Israel. But I'm not going to spoil it, though. Let's continue reading.
But now thy kingdom shall not continue.
Right?
The Lord hath sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord hath commanded him to be a captain over his people.
So the Most High said, this is written in stone. You just here for the season. Right? Pack up your stuff and go. Time is coming. Read.
Because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee.
Because he didn't want to keep the orders of the commandments of the Most High. Saul had a character that he always did things halfway. He'll do, when Most High tell him, yo, go and do this, he'll do a little 50% of it and do the other 50% the way he wanted to do it. That's how Saul was moving. That's the spirit he was rolling in. And we know the Most High deal with everything done decently and in order. Read.
And Samuel rose and got him up from Gilgal.
So Samuel left, got up in his Mercedes-Benz, his donkey, and left. Read.
And Samuel rose and got him up from Gilgal unto Gibeah of Benjamin. And Saul numbered the people that were present with him, about 600 men.
So how many men was with him before? How many men was with Saul before? It was a mighty number. Now it's just 600. What is 600 going to do against 30,000? 36,000?
And you don't have
Philistines?
with you.
And you don't have the Most High with you? You might as well, dig your own grave. 600 men. And the other men are fled away by the side of Gad. Right? Get down 1 Samuel chapter 15. Process of time. Chapter 15, verse 1.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 1.
Right?
Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people.
So he's reflecting when he's telling Saul this. The Most High sent Samuel initially to anoint Saul. But we know that we weren't never supposed to have men as to be our kings. Correct?
Khan.
Who was supposed to be our king? Anybody got a scripture from me? Who's supposed to be our king? There's another way you can answer this question too. Who's supposed to be our king? And who else? Somebody asked you that. Who's your king? How are you going to prove that? How are you going to defend that? Wow, he's looking for a verse. Isaiah 43, verse 15. We are here to learn. Everybody's here to learn. I don't know is a beautiful answer when you're learning. Because it gives space to get the answer and to grow upon that answer. Because everybody got a piece of this truth. Everybody got a piece of this truth. Some pieces may be bigger than others. The Most High may multiply yours. Right?
What did you say?
Isaiah 43, verse 15.
Yeah.
The king of Israel. Who was supposed to be the initial king of Israel?
The book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 15. I am the power Your Holy One, the
Right.
Creator of Israel.
Who's the creator of Israel? It's Yahweh, right? Creator of heaven and earth. Right? Read.
Your King.
Your what?
Your King.
Can you spell it for me?
K-I-N-G.
Some people believe it's a queen. Some people believe it's a queen. That's a scripture you can use to cut that nonsense too, that garbage. Yeah, Exodus 15:3. Right? The Most High was initially supposed to be our king. Due to the process of time, everybody got to do their own reading too, to continue off where we left off today. Saul was placed to be a thorn. He was placed to show our people, man, the Most High was supposed to be our ruler. Man was never supposed to be our ruler. It was supposed to be the Most High. Right? Out of one right now is Mashiach Yahushua, the true Lion of Judah. There's more to that. Let's go back.
No, it's done.
All right, let's go back to 1 Samuel 15. You still have a verse? Kadasha, you dropped it. It's all good. Chapter 15.
I was going to 1 Samuel 12. You know, when it says...
It please the Most High?
No. When he says, they have done this so that I would not reign over thee. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, get it.
12 and 22.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Go back to where you was in chapter 15.
1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 2. Verse 1.
All right?
Samuel also said unto Saul, the Lord sent me to anoint thee to be king over his people, over Israel. Now therefore hearken thou unto the voice of the words of the Lord.
So Samuel's come with instruction. After he just let Saul have it, now the Most High is sending Saul a new set of instructions. Now let's really examine Saul's personality, the spirit he was rolling in. Right? Read.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel.
What he said?
I remember that which Amalek did to Israel.
Read it one more time for me, brother.
I remember that which Amalek did to Israel.
So the Most High said, I remember what Amalek did to Israel. Who's Amalek? You gotta say it proud, loud and proud. Who's Amalek? He's a synagogue of Satan. What nation is he today? He's so-called Jew. Where is he located at? He's located in Israel. Amalek is Edom. Amalek is the fake Jews. The same ones with the dirty beards, all black suit for Army Navy. That's Amalek. Moses said, remember what Amalek did, right? Let's get it in the scriptures. Give me numbers. I believe it's Numbers 23, right? No, not Numbers 23.
That was 17. Wasn't it?
It's Exodus 17.
Oh, Exodus 17. Okay.
Yeah, 17:8. Let's see what happens. What we're gonna find out is the special instructions the Most High gave Saul to complete is actually found in the law. What the Most High told Samuel to tell Saul was a law. It's a law to remember what Amalek did to our people. That's a law. So if we forget, what is that?
Transgression.
That's transgression. So when our people are talking about peace, 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 let's love, 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 that's breaking this commandment here because the Most High said never forget what these people did to us.
That's right.
Read that for me. Exodus 17:8.
The book of Exodus chapter 17 verse 8. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel.
So Amalek, the fake Jews, right, fought against our people, right? Read.
And Rephidim.
Right?
And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out fight with Amalek.
The Moses told the man, yo, get men, man, it's about this. And go fight Amalek. Go smite Amalek. Because Amalek did a cowardly move when you read the Torah. He smote the weak of our people in the back. So who's going to be in the back? The most tired, the most weary, the elders, the women, the children. That's the type of coward these people are. Just like, still in their spirit. They'll never say nothing to your face, but when they're on Black Ops, when they're playing 2K, when they're on the floor, that's when they want to call you nigger. That's the type of cowards these people are. Same spirit. Read.
And go out fight with Amalek.
Right.
Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of the Most High in my hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with Amalek. And Moses and Aaron and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass when Moses held up his hand.
When Moses held up his hand during this battle, right, read?
That Israel prevailed.
The people was whooping them left and right. From Judah to Ephraim, we're beating they behind. Right, read?
And when he let down his hand,
when he let down because he was weary, read?
Amalek prevailed.
They started beating us, read?
But Moses' hands were heavy,
right?
And they took a stone and put it under him.
They put a stone under him, right?
And he sat thereon, and Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands.
Because a battle's not fought just in just 5 minutes. This is sword to sword, spear to spear, arrow to arrow. So this is going to take some time. So they braced Moses to keep his arm up so we could continue beating Amalek. Because the Most High used everything for symbolism. Read?
And the one on one side and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun.
Right.
And Joshua discomfited Amalek and his people with the edge of the sword.
Right.
And the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in a book.
Write this as a memorial. Something to reflect, something to remember in a book. What's that book Moses is writing it in? He's writing it in the scriptures, in the Bible. You're right. He's writing it in the Holy Bible. Read.
Write this for a memorial in a book.
Right.
And rehearse it in the ears of Joshua.
Before the Most High foreshadowed when Moses is going to step down, tell Joshua this. Let this be known to Joshua. Read.
For I will utterly put out the remembrance of Amalek.
He said he's going to wipe out the nation of Amalek. Read.
From under heaven.
Right.
And Moses built an altar and called the name of it Jehovah Vieshi.
Jehovah Nisi. Meaning God is my banner. Right? Read.
For he said, because the Lord has sworn.
Because the Most High has sworn. Read.
For he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
Because the Most High confirmed that he would have war with them generation to generation. What the Most High written right here is what's going on in the East right now. This is why they keep getting bombed up. This is why the Ishmaelites, these other nations, keep going to war with these people. Because it was already written right here that the Most High will go to war with them generation to generation. Because the Most High has sworn, the Most High is not a man that he would lie. Give me Numbers 23 verse 19.
The book of Deuteronomy, the book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 19. Numbers, chapter 23, verse 19. The Most High is not a man that he should lie.
Because the Most High is not a man he'd lie. He say we're the chosen people. Most High has chosen us. The Most High has given us the law, statute, commandments, and he promises he's going to take us out of this kingdom, Khan. Right. And that promise is still going to be fulfilled. Just like he said he hates Esau. He still hates Esau today. That's why they can't walk under the sun. This is why every nation wants a piece of Edom. Because the Most High is not a liar. Read.
The Most High is not a man he should lie. Right. Neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it?
Because the Most High has said he's going to blot out Amalek from under the sun. He's going to go to war from generation to generation with Amalek. And the Most High has kept his word. This is why they're going to be smitten. This is why in Revelation 3 and 9, the Most High said they're going to bow down before us. Because they're going to bow before they're wiped out as a nation. Give me Deuteronomy 23 verse 6. And we're going to go back into Samuel. Because the Most High told us don't seek their peace. We're commanded not to seek the peace of the other nations. So when you see how people cleave onto them, they're breaking Torah. When you see how people sitting down with a kippah in their congregation talking about they're the Gentile, but they're Israel too. Amalek's Israel too. They're going against Torah. They're going against scriptures. Most I say, seek not their peace. Read that for me.
It says in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 23, verse 6, thou shalt not seek their peace.
When the Most High say thou, what does that mean? That's a law. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not steal. That's law. That's commandment. We're not supposed to seek the peace of the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Amalekites. We're not supposed to seek peace for these nations. Read.
Thou shalt not seek their peace,
Right?
nor their prosperity.
We're not supposed to seek the prosperity of their kingdom. We're not supposed to try to seek a rainbow correlation with the nations. That's Torah. Khan? Let's go back. Samuel 15.
All the days of their life.
Yeah, finish reading that and go back to 15.
Thou shalt not seek their peace, nor their prosperity, all thy days forever.
As long as you have breath in your body, you cannot supposed to seek peace for these nations. Go back to that 1 Samuel chapter 15. So we understand what Amalek did, right?
Khan.
We understand the promise in the law the Most High gave towards Amalek, Khan. And if everybody was here during the portion, we should know what Most High said about Amalek in the book of Numbers with Balaam. He's going to cut them off in these last days. Go back to where he was at.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 2. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, I remember that which Amalek did to Israel, how he laid wait for him in the way when he came out from Egypt. Now go and smite Amalek.
Go and kill these people. Read.
And utterly destroy all that they have.
Do what?
And utterly destroy all that they have.
Now this is the key word right here. He said destroy all that they have. Oftentimes when we went to war, we would bring back spoils. Lambs, sheep, bullocks, oxen, slaves. Right? Women. Thou sayest, right? But this time the Most High making a different instruction. He said destroy everything. Destroy everything they have. Read.
And utterly destroy all that they have,
right?
And spare them not, but slay both man and woman.
Moses says slay both man and woman. Don't even let the women get a pass. Because Edom always had a perpetual hatred towards our people. When they besieged us, they had that perpetual hatred. When the Babylonians were destroying us and they were saying raise it from afar off, they had a perpetual hatred against our people.
Khan.
We wanted to just pass through. We were going to pay them and everything in Torah. They had a perpetual hatred against our people.
Khan.
That's why Moses says seek not their peace. Read.
Both man and woman.
Right.
Infant.
And what?
And infant.
And what?
Infant.
Right. What's an infant? Even a baby's going to get it.
Khan.
This is what's going to happen later on in later times, man. When the Most High bring out the spirit of vengeance, when he uses it as a battle axe and weapon of war, their Gerber babies are going to get thrown right in the alligator lake too. Their Hugh Hefners are going to be stoned. Thus saith the Most High. Read.
Both man and woman,
Right.
Infant and suckling,
Right.
Ox and sheep,
Right.
Camel and donkey.
Right.
And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim, 200,000 footmen.
So Saul gathered up 2,000 footmen, right? Read.
And 10,000 men of Judah.
Right.
And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley.
So Saul laid wait in the valley. Right. Read.
And Saul said unto the Kenites, go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites.
So Saul's telling the Kenites, yo, go. Because when you read Joshua, our people made some covenants with some of the nations that was in there. We disobeyed the Most High. Some nations, they didn't want to fight us. So they got down with the program. That they're going to be tributaries. They're going to be hewers of wood, gatherers of water, and they're going to be under us. Right? So Saul already warned them what's about to go down. Because Esau's the only nation the Most High is not going to have mercy on. Okay, let's get that to the Bible dictionary. Read that for me. I was looking for it in the Bible dictionary. Read it right here. Because when you talk about Edom, that's a sensitive topic for our people. That's very sensitive. You talking about Edom is like you talking about Big Mama. Our people need to understand when this nation, Edom, is a nation the Most High hate. We're supposed to hate what the Most High hate. Therefore, we're supposed to hate Edom. Our people try to twist the scriptures talking about don't all pour in Edomite. This that if they go into the Hebrew scriptures, say don't do anything abominable to them. We're not gonna be buck breaking them. We're not gonna be sleeping with their woman in front of them. That's abominable. But we're gonna do everything according to the law because they can't help being crooked. Read that.
In the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, it says Edom. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High.
Because that's the only nation. That's short too. I wish it was a scripture. Read it again one more time. Read it again one more time.
In the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, Edom. She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High.
They were the only nation that was promised to be destroyed, wiped off the face of the earth. When everybody else is going back on their land, being tributaries, being under the Israelites, at peace, Edom was going to be rounded up and exterminated like roaches getting sprayed with raid. That's their destiny. They're going to be two-time losers, even in the kingdom.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go right ahead.
In the kingdom, Ham is going to look to Moab and says, hey, where's Esau? I don't know.
The nation's going to mock them as well, man. Go back to where you was at 1 Samuel 15.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 4, verse 5. And Saul came to the city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Canaanites, go, depart, get you down from among the Amalekites.
Separate from the Amalekites because what's about to go down, you do not want to get caught up in this. Read.
Lest I destroy you with them.
Because when you're at war, when you're fighting, anybody who's ever been in a fight, 3 on 3, 3 on 10 or whatever, you not think you just swinging. You put an adrenaline. Anybody who come arm's length, they getting popped too. Anybody who's winning in a brawl like that, they already know what goes down. And they're going to get caught up if they stay amongst the Amalekites. Because in war, if you're with the enemy, you get killed with the enemy.
Kahan,
Read.
get you down from among the Amalekites.
Right.
Lest I destroy you with them.
Right.
For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt.
Right.
So the Canaanites departed from among the Amalekites.
So they got down with the program. They didn't even tell Amalek what's going on. They got down with the program. Right. Read.
And Saul smote the Amalekites.
He did what?
And Saul smote the Amalekites.
Saul kind of followed this instruction, right? We talking about that 50-50 obedience, right? He smote the Amalekites, read.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Hav-elah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt. Mm-hmm. And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive.
What? He did what?
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive.
So he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites. Everybody remember the book of Esther, right? Who was an Agagite? I know Taz won't know the answer. Who was an Agagite? There was a famous Agagite who rose up against our people. In Esther. Not Esther. He was an Elamite. A Darvidian. You don't have to answer it. Who rose up against us in Esther?
Think.
He started with an H. He got hung. What's his name?
What we saying?
Start with an H. You what? It's all good. Taz wants to answer.
I got the answer.
It's Haman.
Got it.
Haman was an Agagite. So what nation was he? Agag was the king of who? We just read it. What king of what nation? So what was Haman? He was an Amalekite. That perpetual hatred. Same spirit that was in his people. Right? Even during the Persian and Medes captivity. Same hatred. This is why he hated Mordecai so much. Couldn't understand it. Couldn't get it. Couldn't connect the dots. It's because he was Edom. Right? Continue with Isaiah 15. If you didn't know, write it down. Write it down. You never know when somebody might ask you this. Or when a conversation might come up.
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
So he killed all the people. He took Agag and killed the people. Read.
But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep.
What did he do?
But Saul and the people spared Agag and the best of the sheep and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and of the lambs, and all that was good.
So what did Saul do that was wrong right here? What was he instructed to do, Mashallah? To destroy everything, total carnage. Leave no evidence for the detective, right?
They were never here.
They were never here. It was like the Israelites was never there. Saul did 50% and did 50% what he wanted to do. He was a halfway prophet, halfway king.
That's the brother paying attention.
Yeah, he's paying attention. That's good. Right, read.
But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and of the lambs, and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them.
Because he was supposed to kill them. Lamb, bullock, chicken, rooster, whatever. Everything was supposed to get the edge of the sword. Trees, everything. Read.
But everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly.
Now, everything they didn't want, that's what they wanted to destroy. They probably kept some women and killed the ugly ones. That's probably what they did. Scripture probably didn't go in depth. Right? Read.
Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel,
right,
saying, it repenteth me.
It did what?
It repenteth me.
The Most High say, damn, I regret, man. Read.
That I have set up Saul.
That he set up Saul
to be king.
To be what?
To be king.
To be what?
To be king.
To be a ruler over his people. Because the king got to be blameless. Because that's the example for the people. A lot of times in the scriptures, when the king was wicked, everybody else was wicked. That was happening to the northern tribes.
Con.
But 99.9% of the kings was wicked, so everybody else was wicked. Because they had nobody to assert authority. Nobody to execute the laws of the Most High God. The priest was supposed to teach the laws. The king was supposed to drop down the hammer and say, yo, we keeping the law, statute, commandments. That was the relationship between the kings and the priests. Read.
It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king,
right?
For he has turned back from following me.
Because he turned back. Just like our people turn their back from following the Most High God. Our people would have followed the pastor, man. Our people would disobey the Most High and disobey the Most High and follow man. Give me Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 13. Start from 11.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 11. Have a nation changed their gods,
all right,
which are yet no gods?
Because the nation still, Elam still worship Krishna. Ham still worship, I believe is what's that snake god name, Tazuan? It's Don. The snake people in Africa, the Hamites. The Hamites still worship their snake gods.
Mungu. You say that one.
Yeah, Mungu.
Yeah.
Moab and Ammon still worship Buddha, the Fun. The nations still worship their gods. They never changed their gods. They're still holding it down for their false gods. Right?
Have a nation changed their gods,
right,
which are yet no gods?
Because there's no power. There's no power in these nations. There's no power in their gods. Same way the Most High was making a mockery out of the Egyptians and their gods. Read.
But my people have changed their glory?
Because our people have changed their glory. Just like Saul changed his glory. Read.
For that which doeth not profit,
right,
be astonished, O ye heavens,
right,
at this,
right,
and be horribly afraid. Be very desolate, saith the Lord.
Right.
For my people has committed 2 evils.
Our people have committed 2 wicked acts, even Saul. Because we got to look at what our forefathers did and reflect on ourselves. Right? Read.
For my people has committed 2 evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters,
right,
and hewed them out of broken searchings that can hold no water.
Our people returned the Most High with a receipt and got a pots with holes that can't even hold water of no value. Our people have become degenerates, man. Drop down to verse 21. Drop down to verse 21.
Yet have I planted thee a noble vine,
right,
holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant?
Our people have become degenerates in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. We know the Most High use symbolism, Khan. So he's not talking about sunflower seeds and roses. Read.
Degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me.
Right.
For though thou wash thee with nutri and take thee much soap,
right,
yet thy iniquity is marked before me,
even
saith the
though our
Lord
people
God.
go in the shower, our people pray to the Most High God in the Christian church, our sin is still marked in his eyes. Saul's sin was still marked in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Even though he killed some, his transgression was still marked in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Continue reading. He didn't care. He was wanted to be a man pleaser, wanted to please the homies, the boys. Read.
How canst thou say, I am not polluted?
Right.
I have not gone after Belial.
How can Saul was saying, yo, what did I do that was wrong? After he did the burnt sacrifice, he wanted to salute. He had the nerve to salute Samuel and try to play innocent. Right? Just like a lot of our people try to play innocent. Yeah, I want to be backstabbers, evildoers. Read.
See thou thy way in the valley, know what thou hast done. Thou art a swift dromedary, transversing her ways.
Our people have transversing ways. Just like Saul, man. The same spirit is still here. There's no new thing under the sun. Go back to Reels and Samuels. It was verse 11. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 11.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 11. It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me, and hath performed my commandments, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night.
Right.
And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and is gone about and passed on, and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said unto him, Blessed be thou of the Lord, for I have performed the commandment of the Lord.
So Saul's talking about, yo, I completed the commandments of the Most High. I did what the I one commanded me. Read.
And Samuel said, What meaneth then this bleating of the sheep in my ears?
He said, you're talking about you did the instruction of the Most High. You annihilated everything. Why am I hearing bah in the background? Why am I hearing sheep? Because we understand, Samuel had a spirit. I don't know. Samuel was very straight to the point and very serious. That, if you really read the book of Samuel, that's the type of prophet Samuel was. Very spirit. He was like Yakanan. He don't smile. Very, very serious. That's the spirit Samuel, the prophet Samuel was running in. The Most High said A, B, and C. Samuel said A, B, and C, and that's it. Straight like that. Read.
In my ears, and lowing of the oxen which I hear. And Saul said, They have brought them from Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep.
Because Samuel's rebuking them now. You talking about you did the instruction of the Most High, but you still saved the sheep. You still saved the oxen. You didn't complete the task that the Most High had, that Most High laid before you. Because it was a law which was to blot out the remembrance of Amalek. He failed. Right, read.
And Saul said, They have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord.
Now you trying to sugarcoat it and add spice to it. Some rum cake and cheese. Tell me he bring those sacrifices to the Most High God. Do the Most High will need the sacrifice of the wicked man? Let's get Proverbs 21:27. The Most High have no need for the sacrifice of the wicked. That's according to scriptures. A lot of these rappers, man, want to be thugs, destroy their people, and want to throw big tithes in the Christian church. Exactly. That's why they always getting jacked. Exactly. The Most High don't need no sacrifice of the wicked man. Read that for me. Proverbs 21:27.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 27. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination.
It's a what?
Is an abomination.
It's an abominable thing to the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Read.
How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind?
And Saul brought it with a wicked mind,
Khan.
He brought it with a wicked mind to the Most High. He know he did something wicked. How about, I'm bringing it to the Isle of One. It's like you go outside, you rob a 2019 Mercedes Benz. So I'm bringing it for the congregation so everybody else can ride it too. That's off, man. He did not keep the instruction of the Heavenly Father. And that was his constant issue. He was the first king we had. And he was supposed to make sure he walked a straight path. First we're leading by an example. And that's how we all should be as a people, man. Because when the people was talking about they want to keep the lamb, keep the sheep, he's supposed to rebuke them. He's supposed to correct them. Give me Sirach chapter 10, verse 1.
The book of Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people.
A king is supposed to instruct the people. They're supposed to direct the people on the way they all should go. Our leaders, our rulers, our captains, our officers, our priests, they're supposed to lead the people to the Most High God. That's their function. Read.
And the government of a prudent man,
the government of a serious man,
is well ordered.
Is well ordered. Saul wasn't well ordered because he wasn't serious for the Most High. He did things 50-50. With the Most High God, you cannot do things 50-50. It's his way or the I-95. That's it. Read.
As the judge of the people is himself,
right?
So are his officers.
So is his what?
So is his officers.
So if Saul was walking the straight path, the people would be doing the same thing. If Saul was keeping the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, as he has instructed through Holy Torah, the people will be following his lead. Read.
And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Since he was going off, it's only inevitable the people was going to go off too. Because our people are sheep. We tend to be followers. That's just how we are by nature. That's why the Most High compare us to sheep. We need a leader. Ultimately, our leadership, we will never go astray under his lead.
That's right.
Drop down to verse 24. First Samuel 15 and 24.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 24. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord.
Now he's doing it again. Every time we do something wicked, just like when we do something wicked, I have sinned. Please forgive me, oh Adawan.
You didn't want 22?
No.
Okay.
Continue.
I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And thy words, because I feared the people and obeyed their voice.
Because he was being a man pleaser. Instead of pleasing the Most High, he was pleasing the people. That was Saul's issue during this time, during this act right here. He was trying to be a man pleaser, just like a lot of men these days trying to be men pleasers. They know the Most High's name, but they be man pleasers. That's the issue with the Most High. We cannot be man pleasers. Because we all got to seek our soul salvation. Read.
Now therefore, I pray thee, pardon my sin. I turn again with me, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord.
He said, yo, forgive me. Tell the Most High, forgive me. I'll do right. I'll keep his all statute commandments. I'll do what I was supposed to be doing. Right? Yeah. You have a question? Khan, that's a good example. Exactly. It's like someone who's addicted to narcotics or alcohol. This is the last one, bro. This is the last spliff. Next week they're back to on the same block with the same sons of Belial, getting high, getting drunk. That's a good example. Continue reading.
And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord.
He said he's not going to be with them because why? He rejected the word of the Most High God. He rejected the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Right? Read.
And the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel.
This is when the Most High decided to take Saul. He already told him, I already got somebody after my heart. And now it's confirmed. You're going to be rejected to be king of Israel. You're not going to be ruling forever. Read.
And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle.
Now he's crying, he's groveling. Forgive me, forgive me. Now he grabbed on his coat, Samuel's coat. Right? Read.
And it rent.
And it what?
And it rent.
It ripped. Right? He ripped the man's coat. He's supposed to be a king. He's supposed to be a mighty man. Right? Crying like a little woman because of his own disobedience. Because he destroyed himself. Moses already gave him the charge. Already told him he would establish his kingdom. Read.
And Samuel said unto him, the Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day.
What did he say?
The Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day.
Just like you ripped my jacket, that's the way the Most High ripped the kingdom off your hands. Now, you see the spirit of Samuel. A lot of our people scared to stand up for the Most High. See, I'm telling the king this. Saul was with killers right now. Saul got the mighty men of Benjamin with him right now. Samuel already gave him a breakdown. And he gave him an insult. Yo, just like you ripped my jacket, Most High gonna rip the kingdom off your hands. And did a dramatic exit. That's real. That's a real prophet. That's a real man of the Most High God.
Really? And have given it to a neighbor of thine.
Gave you to a neighbor. The son of Jesse. King David. Right? Read.
That is better than thou.
That's better. How is he better? What makes him better? What makes you better than a wicked Israelite? What makes him? It's in Proverbs. What makes you better? You know what I want? Proverbs 12, right? Go on. Get it from me. 12 and 26.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
When you keep the law, statute, commandments, the orders of the Heavenly Father, you're more excellent. Read it again.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
Excellent than his neighbor. You become more excellent than your neighbor. You become better than the average poo-poo and cuckoo outside. When you're keeping the law, statute, commandments of the Heavenly Father. David was a righteous man. That's why the Most High keep talking about him. He didn't reveal the name yet. He's foreshadowing, somebody better than you is going to take over. Just like when we in this truth, man, we got to make our election short. We got to do exactly what the Most High ordered. Sometimes it's hard. That's why we have each other, to esteem us, to keep the law, statute, commandments of the Heavenly Father.
Kahan.
Because if we don't do it, the Most High already got 7,000 men who's going to take your spot. Who's better? Read where you left off with Samuel.
And also the strength of Israel will not lie nor repent. For he is not a man that he should repent. Then he said, I have sinned, yet honor me now, I pray thee, before the elders of my people, and Israel, and before Israel, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord thy God.
Because kings always had prophets. They had prophets for what? What was a prophet's role to a king? What was one of their roles? To record, like Ezra was a scribe, to remind them to do what? How so? Exactly. He's supposed to be the advisor to the king. Now, you have something you want to say? It's like the Most High being advising him. It's like his assistant. Keep everything in order. The king's job is supposed to execute, drop down the hammer. Right? Saul dealing with Samuel is like him dealing with the Most High. His connection to the Most High. You ever seen Saul? And nowhere in the scriptures did the Most High directly speak to Saul. He always spoke to him through Samuel. Even after Samuel left. Saul wanted to go after a witch in Endor, in the land of Issachar. Right? He called him back, and the Most High still didn't speak to him. He spoke through Samuel.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
spoilers.
Everybody got to do their own homework, man, and finish reading it. Right? You understand, man, the roles of a priest, a prophet, ambassador, porters, we all play intricate roles in the kingdom. Let's go back to where we left off at.
So Samuel turned again after Saul, and Saul worshipped the Lord. Then said Samuel, bring ye hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites.
Now Samuel didn't forget about the Amalekite. Agag, right? He said, yo, bring him to me. Right, read?
And Agag came unto him delicately.
Now Agag came up to him sweetly. He thought he about to get a pass. Right? Read?
And Agag says, surely the bitterness of death is past.
Woo! Samuel about to give me a pass. I'm about to go. Saul got rebuked. I'm scot free. That's what he's thinking. That's what Edom's gonna be thinking when we have them in chains. Right? He think he's about to go from my plantation to Kadash plantation. He just don't know he's about to work a lot more overtime in Kadash plantation. Read.
And Samuel said, as thy sword have made women childless.
He said, as much as your sword made women childless. Oftentimes in ancient times, they'll tie women up when they're pregnant and cut their stomach open. Just like they did in slavery. Right? That's the type of sick demon Esau is. Read.
And Samuel said, as thy sword have made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces.
What did he do?
And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces,
right,
before the Lord in Gilgal.
So Samuel went in on him. He went machete on him. Because oftentimes the swords we used was long swords, two-edged swords. They were straight swords. So it wasn't like a clean cut. It was like a machete hitting you.
The cruelty of Levi.
It was like a cruelty of Levi. It was like you would feel every hit. It wasn't a smooth kill. So he killed them before the Most High got to appease the Most High's anger. Right? Read.
Then Samuel went to Ramah, and Saul went up to the house of Gibeah of Saul. And Samuel came no more to see Saul until the day of his death.
Right.
Nevertheless, Samuel mourned for Saul, and the Lord repented that he had made Saul king over Israel.
Because the Most High rebuked him, man. Of course Samuel gonna cry, man. Because he anointed him, he instructed him. He been walking with this man for a while. Remember, Saul was ruling for 40 years. But Samuel was rolling with him for a minute. Even though he was doing something wrong, he still had a relationship with this man. To see him do a downfall like this. It's like a lot of times when we in this truth, we have brothers that's like armed with us, sharp with scriptures, powerful readers, good leaders, right? And now we see them selling crack to their people on the street. We still rebuke them, but we still feel bad, man, because that was my brother at war. That's the same feeling he was feeling.
God.
Right? Even though we know that what's going to be their latter end, we still feel bad because they were our brothers, man, at war. Breaking Yaakov again back to the Most High. 1 Samuel chapter 16.
We'll go 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 1. And the Lord said unto Samuel, how long wilt thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel?
Right.
Fill thine horn with oil, and go. I will send thee to Jesse the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons.
So he said he's about to establish a king. Saul's already rejected from the kingship. So he's saying he's about to go to Bethel. Where's Bethel on the map? It's right there. Where's Bethel on the map? What land is that?
No, Bethlehem is right under the name of vengeance, the land of Judah.
I wanted them to get it.
Oh,
but Bethlehem is in the land of Judah. Right? He said, go to Jesse. Who's the son of Jesse? He's the son of David. They were foreshadowing David, right? Read.
And Samuel said, how can I go? If Saul hear it, he will kill me.
He said, yo, Saul here what I'm about to go do. I'm about to go anoint another king. Because remember, Saul is crying. Saul is bitter. He's salty because he's about to lose the kingdom. The Most High rejected him. The Most High God himself rejected him. How would you feel if the Most High say, yo, you come in this congregation again, talking about Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, I'm going to have bus 19 hit you. You're gonna be salty. That's rough. Tough pill to swallow. Right, Reed?
He will kill me.
Right?
And the Lord said, take a heifer with thee, and say, I have come to sacrifice to the Lord. And call Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show thee what thou shalt do.
So the Most High already given him the game plan of how to be very subtle. to outmaneuver Saul so Saul don't kill him. To get Jesse's attention, to speak to Jesse, right? Read.
And thou shalt anoint him, and thou shalt anoint unto me him who I name unto thee.
So he's gonna anoint. He's gonna go to speak to Jesse to find the next king. Right? Read.
And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Comest thou peaceable? And he said, Peaceable, I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord.
So you will find out that Samuel's already about to go find and elect David under the orders of the Most High God. Saul ruled for 40 years, man. He did some righteous things, right, going against the Ammonites. He probably did some works during his time. But he did a lot of wickedness, a lot of disobedience to the Most High. Give me Acts chapter 13, verse 21 for Saul's rulership. Write that down. That goes along with 1050 to 1010 BC. 40 years.
The book of Acts, chapter 13, verse 21. And afterward they desired a king, and the Most High gave unto them Saul the son of Kish, a man of the tribe of Benjamin.
Right.
By the space of 40 years.
By the space of 40 years. Saul ruled 40 years. To get more of an understanding of Saul's downfall and his death, you would have to continue reading. Do your own homework. That's your homework. Continue reading and find out what the rest will happen to Saul. But the man that the Most High was going to choose after him was a better. He was more excellent than his neighbor. Give me Sirach chapter 47, verse 2. And we're going to go to a little bit of scriptures and we're going to close out for tonight's class. Sirach chapter 47, verse 2. Because what does anybody know what the name David mean in Hebrew? What's David in Hebrew? Does anybody know?
That's a good question. I know.
Tazirwan, you know David in Hebrew? It's beloved. Oftentimes names meant something in our kingdom. You weren't given the name Pookie for in vanity. A name was supposed to make a characteristic, your characteristic. Oftentimes names foreshadow the importance of somebody in the scriptures. We didn't give out names for no reason. David in Hebrew was Dawad, beloved, because he was the beloved of the Most High. Even though when you read his story, you find out some things he erred at. That was the beloved of the Most High. That was the man after his heart. That was the man the Most High chose for Yahweh to come out of. Let's read it.
47:1.
47:2. Sirach 47, verse 2.
The book of Sirach, chapter 47, verse 2. As is the fat taken away from the peace offering, so was David chosen out of the children of Israel.
Right? So David was chosen, right? Just like how the fat was separated, how the wicked is separated from the righteous. David was separated to be the king after Saul. He was going to be that man to step up after Saul and direct the people on the way they ought to go. Drop down to verse 8.
Verse 8. In all his works he praised the Holy One Most High with words of glory.
Right?
With his whole heart he sung songs and loved him that made him.
So David was very special in the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Saul fell because of his disobedience. Oftentimes the Most High, Most High don't accept ghosts of lamb right now for this time period. But he still offers that we give him sacrifices. What sacrifices is that? Give me Romans chapter 12, verse 1. A wicked person could come in here. Is he sacrificing? Is he giving sacrifice to the Most High? Not giving sacrifice to the Most High. Somebody could be in here grudgingly. Just because you give time, it's how you give the Most High your time. It's how you show you're the sacrifice to the Most High. That's what he's looking at. That's what he's observing. Let's get Romans chapter 12, verse 1.
The book of Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Lord, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice.
We're supposed to observe. We're supposed to give ourselves as a living sacrifice to the Most High. Saul he did things halfway. That was his issue. He was a man pleaser. That was his issue. We're supposed to learn from his actions and not be man pleasers, man. We're supposed to sacrifice ourselves to the Most High as a lamb without blemish, like our idol one Yahweh. That's how we're supposed to sacrifice ourselves, man. Give me 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 3. Because the Most High still requires sacrifices, but the specific sacrifices He's requiring from us, not just our time. Because I could be in here with the mind of I'm about to go to Tootsie's right after. That doesn't mean I'm sacrificing to the Most High. 1 Samuel 2 and 3.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 3. Talk no more so exceedingly proudly.
Right.
Let not arrogance come out of your mouth.
You're not supposed to let arrogance come out of your mouth. Saul was having a lot of arrogance coming out of his mouth. We've seen it a lot of times. What have I done? I repent, come back to me. Like he was in a relationship with Samuel. Right? Read.
Let not arrogance come out of your mouth.
Right.
For the Lord is a God of knowledge.
Most High is a God of knowledge. What's knowledge according to scriptures? You don't gotta get no precept. Just you give me the answer. What's our knowledge? What's the highest knowledge on this earth? It's fear, it's respect of the Most High. It's the law, statute, commandments, right? The Most High is a God of order, a God of law, right? Read.
For the Lord is a God of knowledge,
right?
And by Him actions are weighed.
So the sacrifices we give to the Most High is our actions. It's our times and our actions that we give. So what type of actions are we supposed to be showing to the Most High? Khan, you on fire today. You ready to teach tonight. Give me Sirach chapter 35 verse 1. He's on fire tonight. He's teaching tonight.
Sirach chapter 35 verse 1.
Right.
He that keepeth the law bringeth offerings enough. He that taketh heed to the commandment offereth a peace offering.
Offering to what?
Offers a peace offering.
So when you're keeping the commandments of the Heavenly Father, it's like you're giving the Most High peace offerings. You're giving them this sacrifice, peace offerings. Read.
He that requiteth a good turn offereth fine flour.
It's like you're offering a fine flour mingled with oil. Read.
And he that giveth alms sacrificeth praise.
When you're giving alms, when you're giving, when you're helping your brother when he's down, it's like you giving sacrifices of praise. Because we know giving alms covers a multitude of sins. Read. To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Most High, and to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation. Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord. Mm-hmm. Read on. Read.
For all these things are to be done because of the commandment.
Right.
The offering of the righteous maketh altar fat.
So when you're doing this, it's like you putting a fat piece like Abel on the altar. You're giving the Most High your best. Not only is your time, it's you applying the law, statute, commandments of the Heavenly Father. The Most High says His voice is calling unto the sons of men. Sometimes we, as men, we like to say, but the sisters are not here, but the sisters, this and that. The Most High Spirit is called unto us. We got to direct the way. Whether they hear the law, statute, commandments or not, that's their issue. They're not going to make it to the kingdom. But the Most High still have righteous women that's going to keep the commandments. The Most High needs us to keep the laws. That's our sacrifices. Our time with the application of the law, statute, commandments is our sacrifices to the Heavenly Father.
Gone.
Right? Read. We are in Sirach chapter 35, verse 1 to 6. He's at verse 6 right now.
The offering of the righteous maketh the altar fat,
right?
And the sweet Savior thereof is before the Most High.
It's remembered in the eyes of the Heavenly Father, man. Tonight we went over King Saul. We went over how he became king, his actions leading to his downfall, and the Most High's selection of David, the son of Jesse. If it be the Most High's will, we may go into King David next week, but most likely the elder will be here, so we may just continue from this topic for a while. But who's on the live stream though? We got an LOZ Friday night shout-outs.
You scroll up. You can't scroll up.
Let's see who's on the live stream. Let's give our brothers and sisters a Shabbat Shalom, a shout out.
Done. Where's that verse? Greet every brother with a salutation.
You see it? Shout out to Nazamia, HOA.
Khan.
Rama 1. Yashar 1. Shabbat Shalom, brother. You missed out on the class. I was ready to ask you questions. I was waiting for him. My sister Miss Ellie holding it down. Most I willing, maybe we'll have a congregation that we're in your location.
Khan, Shalom, sis.
Shalom. She always on the live stream.
Khan, consistent.
Wolfpack Hebrew, probably a Benjamite. Shalom.
Shalom.
Edmund.
Brother Zamar. It's your prophet Zamar, LOZ soldier.
Judah.
Last days of the great man.
Shout out to our brother. Shalom.
Shalom, brother.
Judah.
Shout out to our brother Malak Yahawada.
Shalom, Mat.
Rayon Worthen.
Our brother Brayon. Shabbat Shalom. Hope you gather with us.
Shalom, brother.
That's it.
And that's it. At the time before we shut out, I was left doing this. Does anybody have any questions that they wanted to ask concerning the topic, or any question at all that they need some quick edification on before we go to camp? And a word of discretion: if you come with any wild doctrine, you will get cut on the live stream. We're gonna give everybody a minute. Let's just time it, quick minute. But for the meantime, we have classes 4 days in a week. Wednesday class is hosted by Minister Shalamah from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We have a Thursday soldier class for the men that's ready and willing to stand up for the people. No breast milk prophets.
Khan.
Right? From 8 p.m. Yeah, start from 6. It's supposed to be from 6 to 8 p.m. But it's 7 to 9. Wednesday class, 7 to 9. Minister Shalamah. Soldiers class, no breast milk prophets. No going home after Shabbat. Men from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Men only. Wisdom class on Wednesday for men and women. Friday class is a Shabbat, the history class, usually hosted by Elder Lapala and myself from 7 to 9 p.m. Saturday Shabbat class is usually hosted by Minister Shalamah or Priest Kahan. If not Priest Kahan, one of the captains in the camp. Does anybody have any questions on the live screen before we close out? There's no questions?
That may behold wondrous things. Oh, Lord.
Nope.
I am a stranger.
All right. Amadim Wapanya Hakadam. Rise and face the east. Hallelujah.
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 Who's the power?
Yahweh.
Who's the power?
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh.
What are we going to do?
Kingdom.
What are we going to do?
Kingdom.
How? How?
How?
All right, repeat Psalms 133 in Hebrew after me. Shayar, Amaiwa, Ladawan, Hanan, Ma, Tawab, Rama, Naiwam, Shabbat, Hakim, Gum, Yerkad, Kashaman, Hatwab, Al, Haraash, Yerad, Al, Hazakwan, Zakwan, Aaron, Shayarad, Al, Paya, Madawafia, Kato, Karumwan, Shayarad, Al, Haraya, Taziwan, Kaya, Sham, Tazawa, Yahweh, Af, Habraka, Kayam, Haid, Hawelam, Basham, Amashiach, Yahushai, Zawada, Tamyan, Aman. Repeat it. Would you read it in English for me, please?
The book of Psalms, chapter 33, verse 1. Book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down from the skirts of his garments, as a dew of Harmon, and as a dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord hath commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Abanawi Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, the water from Yad. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. That the Most High will give it to us tomorrow. Shalom.
Shalom.